Hey all! So, I've only just done a Pokemon news video. I was a little late with it and had my suspicions that Nintendo and the Pokemon Company would go ahead and just drop out another video pretty early on. So they did. The same day my video dropped covering the news. So, as I'm behind, here is another Pokemon news update. And, oh my, was it a doozy of a video. So let's just hop straight in. Straight off, we get Galarian forms. So after Sun and Moon and the Alola forms, they've decided to keep on with this, and I am happy. So happy that they're doing it. And there's some pretty cool forms. So we kick straight off, we get to see a Galarian Weezing. So he's not, or she, they can be both sexes. They are not the deep purple, as they are in the Kanto region and all of the regions so far where they've been existing. However, they are grey. They happen to have a green poisonous cloud that seems to just like stick to their skin. And they have giant chimneys coming out their head that happen to look like top hats. So the two heads on a Weezing, the two big heads, basically look like English gentlemen or British gentlemen, as would be more valid. So that was hilarious. And then they hop straight from that to giving us Galarian Zigzagoon. And this one's interesting because it turns out that this Zigzagoon is the original Zigzagoon. So everywhere else, Zigzagoon has changed. In the Galar region, it has stayed the same, which is a feisty, boisterous version of itself, and it happens to be a dark normal type. So this is going to be really cool. And then they showed us the Galarian Linoone, which made sense, but it was like, well, okay, so why? And then we got the surprise that none of us were expecting. It has a third evolution. So in the Galar region, due to how boisterous and fighty they are, it's able to evolve into Obstagoon. And Obstagoon I can best describe as being the thug Pokemon. He wants to cause trouble, but he's not going to throw the first fight. Oh, no. Obstagoon will stand there, and it's just going to tease and taunt until the other person attacks. I found that quite an interesting design choice. But it's really cool. Then, we hop straight from that to our first form-changing Pokemon for Sword and Shield. And we get Morpeko. It's a brand new Pokemon. It's a little electric hamster. Until its form changes. So, basically, in the middle of a match, it can use up its electricity, which results in it getting hungry. It changes form into its hangry form, and it becomes a dark-type hamster Pokemon who is now absolutely annoyed and will do anything because he's hangry. I was just like, yes, thank you, Pokemon. It's adorable. It's everything I want. That is going in my team. They follow that up very nicely with the new villain team. So we've seen all kinds, and in Sun and Moon we got to see a sort of more thug like group. Here we finally have our hooligans. They are Team Yell, and they are massive fans of your new rival, Marnie. Marnie is a sort of a goth punk character, and these goons are absolutely designed to be based around the punk scene of the 80s in the UK. But interestingly enough, they're basically out trying to help Marnie win by beating up her competition. That's their mission. They want to beat them up, take their Pokemon, make sure that she has no rivals to deal with. However, when Marnie turns up, they back down because Marnie is more than up for a fight, and she doesn't actually enjoy these people doing this. She's all up for having fans, but she doesn't want them doing this active involvement. So that's going to be very interesting to see, because they basically treat her like their leader, and she doesn't really want to be their leader by the looks of things. So that was cool. We then get our third rival revealed, who is Bede, and he's on the gym challenge just like the rest of us, but he has been sponsored by Chairman Rose himself. So this is going to be interesting. So as I was saying, I'm expecting at the end of this is we're going to have a proper tournament. Well, we've now got 3 rivals to beat. So that's already 3 rounds, right? As well as I have no doubt that the Elite Four will somehow play into this. So this could be a pretty big run with some random competition each time you play it. So that's going to be really cool. I'm kind of hoping actually that they might go, just like they've got the gym variants, we might actually see Elite Four variants across the games as well. That would be really cool. But let's see where we go there. I'm also hoping that Morpeko has an evolution, because that would be pretty cool. So yeah, and then we get, we don't get, that's where R1 ends. That's where the UK and the Americas, Europe's trailer ends. Japan, however, got a little bit more to the trailer. They got revealed a jobs system. So the game, and it will be in our version as well, I just guess they're waiting to do a more detailed one in another trailer, maybe. Not entirely sure, but we're getting a jobs feature. So, how does this work? Well, in the Pokemon Center, there is now the Rotomi machine, which, yes, it's a Rotom possessing a computer. You can go up to it. This is where your Pokeboxes are going to be when you're catching your Pokemon. This is where your item store is going to be now. But Rotomi can also send your Pokemon out on jobs. So, the local companies and universities are posting up on a jobs board. You can check that jobs board. You can see what Pokemon type those jobs are for. Pick a Pokemon to go and do that job. And I don't know how they're going to work it out. But when that job is complete, when it's successful after some set amount of time, you will receive experience points for that Pokemon. So you can now train more Pokemon at the same time, trying to keep the levels going so that you can have more options in the later game. So that's going to be pretty cool. It will also help with completing that Pokedex. However, in addition to this, there is the possibility from some jobs to receive rare items. What rare items, we do not know yet. Hopefully more gets revealed, but I have no doubt that since this is coming to the Switch, there's going to be DLC continually added after the launch, which will bring us more jobs and more items and more interesting things. So we've got quite a lot to look forward to here, in my opinion. So yeah, that was all it was. It was a mini short trailer, but it revealed some pretty cool stuff. So as normal, we are going to go and do our Pokedex entries now. If you don't want to know this stuff, this is the prime time to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and head on out to enjoy other videos. If you haven't seen my previous Pokemon news video, go check that one out as well. Otherwise, let's kick off with the Pokedex entries. So, Galarian Weezing. It is a poison fairy type, and it consumes the polluted air around the Galar region. So if you've been to London, you will know that we basically have one of the highest pollutions for a city. So this makes quite a lot of sense. So yeah, it consumes the polluted air and poisonous gases for sustenance. The byproduct that it produces out of those chimney hats is purified clean air. The poison that it consumes builds up inside its body and is eventually emitted out as this toxic gas that will settle around all parts of its face, which is pretty cool. A single whiff of this gas is enough to completely stun and knock out Pokemon. So this is basically going to be one of its signature move sets, I guess. That's going to be pretty cool. Over to Galarian Zigzagoon. It's a dark normal type, as I said earlier, and it doesn't settle down. It's known to inhabit all areas of the region, including the fields, forests, and towns. And there is some speculation that the zigzag movements of Zigzagoon in other regions is from this restless nature of Galarian Zigzagoon. It is considered to be the oldest branch of the species, so that means there could be other Zigzagoon forms as new generations come up, so keep that one in mind. And it enjoys battles. It will charge in at people and Pokemon, and it tends to be able to succeed starting battles with other Pokemon, whereas the people just see it as being a cute, playful Pokemon who's trying to show affection. Oh, how wrong they are, though. He really wants to fight. It kind of reminds me of Rockruff in Sun and Moon in that aspect, because he wants to fight the closer he gets to his evolution. Okay, Galarian Linoone. It can reach speeds of over 60 miles per hour. Wow. And it can deliver destructive, devastating tackles or headbutts with enough destructive force to send cars flying. Ouch. These attacks, though, can throw Linoone completely off balance if they happen to miss. Galarian Linoons happen to be very rash and fearless and will recklessly pick fights, even with opponents that are much stronger than it. So I could see basically Galarian Linoons looking at a Tyranitar going, yeah, mate, bring it. So, madness. Absolute madness. Their boldness and readiness to attack opponents head on make Galarian Linoone very popular with the disaffected youth of the Galar region. So basically, Team Yell quite like these Pokemon. And then we have Obstagoon, a brand new Pokemon. It's so cool that they've done this. So the Linoone of the Galar region, they happen to live in pretty harsh conditions and engage in seriously fierce combat. As a result of this survival instinct inside them being extremely honed, it leads to them evolving into Obstagoon. Though Obstagoon is an extremely combative Pokemon, it chooses to not launch the first attack, and instead will stand there with its arms crossed, taunting fellow Pokemon. When the opposition attempts to attack, it will block its incoming attacks with its move Obstruct, and it is especially skilled at throwing its opponents off guard and counter-attacking with its sharp claws. So again, it's pretty cool. I think this could be an interesting one to use in battle. The Dark Normal combination is going to be interesting to see. Right, and now Morpeko. So this is our last Pokedex entry. He's an electric or dark type, not electric dark type. This is key. The sacs in Morpeko's cheeks constantly generate electricity. This happens to consume the energy within inside its body, and so it always is carrying berry seeds to snack on. When experiencing prolonged hunger, its hormones go off balance. And this happens to result in the fur to change colour and triggers a more aggressive and volatile behaviour. The energy that is then stored inside its cheeks changes to a dark type, so it's now pulsating dark energy instead. And I think that's pretty interesting. Morpeko's ability, Hunger Switch, is a brand new ability that causes it to change its appearance each turn. And Aura Wheel is its signature move, which changes type based on if it's in its full body or its hangry mode. So I think that's pretty cool. So in full body it's electric, in hangry it's a dark type. So yeah, that is all the Pokemon news updates that we've got. We still haven't had Pokemon Masters released. However, for those who are in the UK, down in London, we will be having the Pokemon Centre visit us for, I think it's about 2 weeks, from the end of October to the beginning of November for the launch of Pokemon Sword and Shield. So if you do have an opportunity to make your way down, you really should. There will be limited Pokemon products. By the looks of things, Gentleman Pikachu plushes and other Gentleman Pikachu merchandise will be available to push this whole UK aspect of the game. I'm kind of hoping that we also get a Scottish Pikachu with a set of bagpipes. I think that will be adorable. So yeah, this is pretty cool. And here's a quick call out to the Pokemon Company. There's no way you're watching this, but if somehow you happen to be watching this, I am begging you all, we want a Galarian form of Eevee. It should be a Corgi. It will be awesome. And you could have some new evolutions for it based on it being in this Corgi Galarian form instead of in its normal Eevee state. That would be really cool as something unique for the Galar region. Obviously, by now, you've built all the models, you've done all of this, so I won't have any way of impacting. But it would be awesome. Anyway, that's all the time that we've got today. Thank you all for watching. As I've already said, if you like what I am doing here, give me a like. Get down in those comments. Tell me what you think about Morpeko. What about Team Yell? How about the fact that we've got 3 rivals in this game? What are you most excited for in this game? What are you least excited for? Let's have a good chat down in those comments. You can find me over on Twitter if you want to speak to me more outside of videos on a regular basis. I am on there quite often. And again, thank you for watching. And until next time, keep it geeky.